try to do like it's a neutral color.
Good day today, guys. Great spirit about them. Biggest thing I'm pushing, we talked about today as a team is, we're doing good, but man, we're trying to win it all, and man, we got a lot of work to do to get there. And I told them last year, I said, every day, man, we just rolled our sleeves up and we just hammered it, man. And we strained, we pushed, and we just got a little bit better every day. And all of a sudden, you just look over the next hill and you're standing on the field, over at the Rose Bowl, and you just won the South. And I said, I wish I could take that moment when that final deal. I've never been more proud of a team. The guys were so exhausted, could barely stand up, but victorious. And all that work and all that strain, all that sacrifice, what was on their face, man, was gratification. You know what I mean? And man, that was special, man. Had a crowd. It was just a really one of the most special moments I've had in coaching. And that's what I tell them is that's why it requires you to be uncomfortable. That's why it requires every single day being fanatical about your improvement. And so it's hard because you get a lot of new faces, and I don't really care if they're newcomers. That means you hadn't started, in my opinion. You're newcomer. Well, it's just understanding it. And I wish I could take that moment and I could bottle it up and I could just give it to them right before they came to every practice, and we would really accomplish a lot. Make sense? Because you seem to be kind of focused on your circumstance every day instead of where you're going, the journey, man. That's what's important. Question.
Is there anything key going on the road with the young players as far as what you need to do with them?
No, I think we've established that. I mean, the hardest thing to do in college football is to win on the road. And it's just because your routine's changed and all that. We do a lot of things to keep that routine the same, but it's just all about mental maturity. It's amazing, really, if you really think about how few times we do this and how much we practice. And it is a challenge to get guys up for 15 games, 12 regular season games, and hopefully a championship game and 2 championship games. You know what I'm saying? So it's amazing. Think of how many workouts and squats and practices, and I think about the hours upon hours that you work preparing. So we've got a good routine and all that, but I'm not worried about that. I mean, we got to go and you just can't beat yourself, and that's what most people do on the road is beat themselves. And so I got confidence in these guys that they'll play well.
You expect Harry and Johnson to start in the secondary this week?
Yes. Yeah, you threw me off. I called him something else. Yeah. I mean, who's Perry? That's Armand. I think he'll start at boundary corner. I think Queashy will play as well, and so will Chad Adams play a little bit. We'll just kind of see how that goes. Queashy and Chad Adams will be the nickel back. 1 and 2, I'm sorry. 1 and 2, and then James will start at bandit, but Simone will probably play every other series. I mean, both those guys we still got a lot of competition.
Marcus looking smart.
Good. I think it'll be a really good position for him, and it's good for the training there as well. And so he'll play some there, and Lio can play bandit too. So there's some options there. We got a lot of competition. I like that back there because there ain't nobody messing around because there's competition. It's where you don't have that competition is where it's kind of frustrating at times. And we have a little bit of that too, but we need to mature.
Not to jinx him, but from what I've seen of Zane, he hasn't missed much. Has he been pretty consistent throughout practice?
Zane's no, he's something else, and I really like him. He's just so calm, cool, and collective. He just doesn't. We talk about we got to give these guys a routine and how they need to go through. He just he's just going to make it every time. Sort of thing. So I like his demeanor, and I think when I think of Zane, when I think of a great quarterback, a great kicker, especially a great kicker, because we try to involve them as much as we can, but they're really kind of isolated, and there's only 2 categories for them. You know what I'm saying? You're really doing well, or you're really not. There's not really anything in the middle. And I like he ain't nobody taking his confidence. He's very confident. Sometimes he'll miss a line If he lines up right, he's going to make most of his field goals. And I've got a lot of confidence in him. I think he's the best kicker that I've ever had. And